Today, on Be Something Wonderful, it's done and manifested. Do nothing else except this. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Big video today. We released a really powerful one yesterday. This video that was you shifted to your new reality. Now stay there. And this session I had late in the afternoon, this guy saw the video, loved it, and said, I really think I'm getting it. And he said, I'm still connecting the dots though. And he talked about lots of things. He talked about things that happened in his past, suffering that he believes that was necessary for him to be where he is today. He was talking about some of his dreams and trying to figure out what those mean. He was looking at the outer conditions, whether the outer conditions as they are is movement towards everything he wants. He's trying to figure out if that movement is a sign. He's looking at others, whether their reactions or their actions are leading him to what he wants. He's looking at the outside world. He's trying to connect the dots of all of that. Also, he's saying, you know, I think now that I'm in my wish fulfilled most of the time, I still have these contrary thoughts and feelings. He's trying to connect it all, trying to figure it all out, trying to get things right, still looking for answers. When there are no answers, there are no dots to connect. That was really the message yesterday, that none of it, your temporary thoughts and feelings, the temporary conditions, your dreams, what happened to you in the past, that drama and trauma, the outer conditions, the outside world, none of it has inherent built-in meaning. It means nothing. Right? It doesn't have any meaning except the meaning that you give to it, and give the meaning that you're already in your desired reality, that you're already that person you want to be. Make everything about that. Otherwise, you just create a reality of trying to connect dots that never connect. Right? You can't, remember, you don't have that broader view. You're in our physical experience is less than 0.1% of ultimate reality. In other words, the seen is less than 0.1% of all that you could possibly see or experience, all potential of all that is. Right? You are filtering out through your assumptions and beliefs, through your 3D physical senses, more than 99.9% of all that you could be, and all that you could see and perceive. You hear this. So there are no dots to connect, and you couldn't possibly connect them from this limited, puny viewpoint of reality, from that limited physical viewpoint of reality that you'll never figure out all that stuff. So stop trying to connect the dots. You don't have the broader view. Stop looking for answers. All the questions have been answered. You are that knowing. You are that reality. Your view is linear and limited to your physical 3D experience, that less than 0.1%. But the benefit of that linear view or that experience is how you know yourself as all that is. Instead of looking for the answers in that less than 0.1%, look at that less than 0.1% as the answer. It is the experience that you're calling forth to know yourself as all that is. Do you see it? That linear experience right here. You're experiencing that, creating it through that. There you are. That's you as all that is. That's your higher self. Your higher self, you're changing all frames, past, present, and future. You're creating them and changing them from this present moment, deciding who you are, your self-concept. That's all you need to do. There are no other dots to connect. You don't perceive the 3D world with your physical senses or through your physical senses. You create it. You create your entire experience through your physical senses. Do you see? So there's no dot. You don't have to figure out the dots that connect. This is a perfect part of the unfolding because it's unfolding. It has to be, right? It's unfolding from within you. In other words, you filter out more than 99.9% of all that is or all that you are, according to your assumptions and beliefs about who you are in your self-concept. So who do you say you are? If you say you are that Christ, the Son of the living God, you are the one and only source of your reality. You are that I am that I am. And from that perspective, assume and believe and decide what part of all that you are that you want to experience. Now you're demonstrating dominion over those conditions, not trying to connect past experience, what you believe are past experiences or current conditions or dreams that you're having, but knowing that you're the one and only source of all of them. And to know that they're already connected by your higher self and who you truly are. And that there's nothing to figure out but to call forth what you want to experience right now. Right? That's powerful. That's why Jesus said, do not judge according to appearance, but judge with righteous judgment. In other words, the message wasn't, and I've said this before in many videos, that you shouldn't judge according to appearance, but that you can't possibly judge by appearance. You can't judge according to appearance. It's impossible to judge appearances because you don't have that broader view. You have that limited view of physical reality, that less than 0.1%, right? Righteous judgment is knowing that you are the source within which that experience takes place, within which that appearance lives and moves and has its being. That's righteous judgment, knowing that you are source of all the appearances, all of the conditions, all of the things that you believe were, quote, past experiences or experiences out there. You are only ever seeing reality through your own filters and assumptions and beliefs. Your truth. Through your truth. You're only ever seeing who you assume and believe yourself to be. So see your ideal. Assume your ideal, and that's all you'll see. That's powerful. So, A Course in Miracles. That's why A Course in Miracles is so powerful. And remember, A Course in Miracles has a text, and then it has lessons, the workbook. And it takes you through 360 lessons all year. These lessons each day. Lesson 1 in the book. Lesson 1 is this, and it's powerful. Nothing I see means anything. That's lesson 1. That's the whole thing. Nothing you see, nothing you think and feel, nothing you see means anything other than what the meaning that you give it. It doesn't have built-in meaning. Your source. You're all that is. You give it all the meaning it has. That's lesson 2. Lesson 3 says, I do not understand anything. In other words, you can't understand it from that less than 0.1%. You can't connect those dots. Stop trying to. Stop trying to connect all the things that you believe happen to you in the past, though, the conditions that are happening out there, the dreams that you're having, and what all this means, and what all this means, that means, and why my future life will come if this is right or that's right. You are it. It's already there. You're standing in all of it right now. Right? And then it says in lesson 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. And then I think lesson 5 or 6, my thoughts do not mean anything. Nor the feelings, because you're only ever feeling what you're thinking. It's all temporary. The idea of good and bad and judging any of it makes no sense. This is what A Course in Miracles says. None of them represents your real thoughts and feelings. Right? In other words, thoughts, but feelings as well, or conditions. Right? Which are being covered up by them. None of your real thoughts, your real feelings, your real reality, you as source energy is being covered up by all of that stuff. All of those dots you're trying to connect covers up who you really are because the dots are already connected. You're the dot. Right? There's one dot, all that is. Right? The good ones are but shadows of what lies beyond, like the good thoughts or the good feelings or the good conditions that you judge as good conditions. And the bad ones are blocks to sight, making seeing impossible. You don't want either. So in other words, A Course in Miracles is saying don't judge any of them. Right? Because even the good ones, even the good conditions, even the good thoughts, even the good feelings are just a shadow of who you really are, making your true knowing, the true sight within you, difficult. You trying to connect the dots between the good and the bad and the right and the wrong, right? That blocks you, and the bad ones are blocks. and the bad ones make seeing impossible. The ones that you judge are bad because now you can't see if you judge something as bad. Right? You can't see the true reality. You don't want either. That's what A Course in Miracles says, because you're a source. That's powerful. That's why Scripture said, I've talked about this a few videos ago, with men, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. With your assumptions and beliefs and filters of reality, it's impossible to see the true, to perceive the true nature of reality and all that is, and to know what those appearances mean. You can't know them through your assumptions and beliefs, right? You can't see who you really are, right? That's that less than 0.1%. But with God, all things are possible. With that I amness, with you declaring I am that I am. I am Christ, the Son of the living God. Allow God and your higher self to connect the dots because they're already connected. God in your higher self has the broader view, knows how the path is going to unfold for you. And it's perfect, it's ideal. You just got to let go to that. Allow it. It's not even trying not to do anything, because now you're even making not doing anything into doing something. It's just allowing yourself to be in that assumption of who you are. The suffering, the signs are not necessary. There's just now and I am. Trying to figure out, so stop trying to figure out anything. Stop trying to figure out what the conditions mean. Stop trying to figure out what your thoughts and feelings mean. Stop trying to figure out what your past means, what your dreams mean. Right? What processes work and what processes don't work. What others are doing. Stand in your own I amness and knowing that you are already that ideal identity and version of yourself that you desire right now. Remember what Seth said, because we had this big discussion yesterday. He was really, making the case, which is fine, but that, what he suffered, he needed to go through. But again, as he reviewed that past, he was giving it reality. You create it right now in the now moment. Suffering is not good for the soul unless it teaches you how to stop suffering. That is its purpose. So that's what it did. That's the real dot that was already connected. That it wasn't necessary. It's never necessary. But if it teaches you to stop going there, to stop thinking it in that way, then that's its purpose. That's true with any negative or judge condition appearance or appearance or experience, right? Anything that you judge negative or unwanted, it's not good for you unless it teaches you how to stop seeing it, stop believing in it. Stop believing that you have to create those. That's the imperfect seeing. It's partial perception. It's not, the idea is you don't have to judge any of it as suffering. You don't have to judge any of it as unwanted. You don't have to judge any of it as negative, right? You get to give it all meaning. You can, and this is what Seth through Jane Roberts says, you can be aware of your own greater identity, even as I am. You sit within the miracle of yourselves and ask for signs. It is your inner eyes that I would open. Do you see it? He's looking for all and everywhere through his thoughts and feelings and past conditions and present conditions and what's happening out there and what they're doing. And maybe if I went through this to cause this. None of it has any meaning except the meaning you give it. Open those inner eyes, that inner knowing of who you really are, your greater identity. That's the miracle. It's already done and manifested. Do nothing else except this, meaning don't even try to stop doing things. Just do nothing. Be who you are. Sit in that image, that assumption, that knowing of your ideal, what your ideal reality is. Even if it's something you're imagining in your life, fine. But see yourself in that ideal now and know that it's already done. It's done and manifested. Do nothing else except this. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. For joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, and our membership channel. Thank you for being a member. We have a video that we just released a few days ago, and we also have a live stream scheduled later this month, exclusively to be broadcast on the membership channel. So if you're a member, tune in. If you're not, check out the link below if you want to check it out. Creators, with great love, With great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom with the Be Something Wonderful studios here in Las Vegas. Until next time, we'll see you soon.